Hello everyone, peace of Christ to all. Before we start my video, I would like to say thank you for those who they are reading my book, but still I encourage you please to go and post your preview for my books, if you don't mind, because reading the book but you don't make a review about it, that's not telling me much. It's not enough to tell me by email it was nice. It's better to share your review, whatever it is, with everybody. Now, our topic today is about Islam and slavery. But, we know Islam and slavery, they match together. Actually, Islam is a religion of slaveries. If you ask Muslims why Allah created Muslims, he will say to be his slaves. So Islam based in slavery. Allah enslaved Muslims. Or let us say this is how the Muslims they present Islam to us. Muhammad is a slave of Allah, and Muslims are the slaves of Muhammad, and you should be the slave of the Muslims. So it's a change of slaveries. Muslims, they have the right to enslave you because you are not a Muslim, but Muslims themselves, they are the slave of their prophet. They obey blindly whatever he say, and they forbid whatever he forbid. And Muhammad supposedly is a slave of God. However, at the end of the day, Muslims and Muhammad supposedly are the slaves of God. But the fact, Muhammad never been a slave of Allah. Actually, it's the opposite. Allah is his slave. Now, this is not our topic here. We will listen to this Abdul. He's a Pakistani Abdul, I can tell. And his lies is amazing, beautiful. You see, Muslims, there's something very, very well known about Muslims. If you say a lie, as long you are in your lie praising Islam, your lie is good. It doesn't matter how much you lie. It doesn't matter, like, I see videos posted on YouTube about Mujahideen, like a guy, he died a year ago and they found him somewhere and he smelled like perfume. Well, your prophet, after 3 days he stink. I can show you the hadith, you idiot. Your prophet himself, he stink after 3 days, and to the point they can't even move him from his room, from his bed. So they buried him in his bed. So the Muslims, they create lies with no limit. And this is just an example. Let us go and listen.
Slavery or riq or ubudiyya was a universal practice. No culture or society had banned it ever in that period. In the Middle Ages, early in the Roman societies, Greek societies, Chinese societies, Indian societies, it was rampant around the whole globe. And Islam was the only and the first to institute laws for ubudiyya.
That's absolutely false. I can show you from the Bible. If you go to Exodus as an example, actually slavery in Islam is different from slavery from others. However, as an example, in Exodus, it's talking because usually the Bible speak about slavery, that let us say you decide to work for someone as a slave. It's like an employment slavery. You go and maximum you have to work. Let's say you borrow from me $100,000. You cannot pay me back. So then I say to you, well, either you pay me or you serve me. But the maximum servant, it is 6 years. After 6 years, he should be free, and his debt is free too. Whatever debt he owned, it's paid. So now this is the old ages where thousands of years ago, as he said, every culture have slaves, and the Israeli themselves, they went as slaves. They've been enslaved, all the nation, taken as slaves to the Babylon, to the Egyptian. So slavery, yes, it was part of the society. It was very fact, let us say, people they live with every day. But when you say that they are the only first religion who came with like a law for slavery, this is a very stupid thing to say. And the Greek, they have a law for slaves. Hammurabi, the king of the Babylons, all the Chinese, they have. What are you talking about? It's an absolutely lie. But this is not really my issue with this Abdul. My issue is the following.
There were no laws for ubudiyya,
Right.
riq, before the coming of Islam. And Islam was the only civilization to come and give a set of laws about dealing with riq. And of those laws were to limit, to have checks and balances put into place by, number one, restricting where do abs come from. And Islam restricted it to one and only one source: prisoners of war who are not ransomed.
See? Prisoners of wars who they are not ransomed. This is the absolute lie, because even the Quran forbid Muhammad from taking ransom. Men should be killed. You have to slaughter them. Let us read together and expose this liar. If you go to chapter 8, verse number 67, you will see that Muhammad, he made this verse specifically for a very simple reason. You see, Muhammad, he have an advisor, and his name is Umar al-Khattab. And all the Muslims, they love money at the end of the day. But in the case of this, Muhammad, he want to use terror. He want to install terror in the heart of the believers. If you remember, Muhammad, he said, I've been victorious by terror. So all armies before, they used to, if they capture, they exchange prisoners at least. Like, you prisoner, we have a prisoner with you, and you have a prisoner with us. So we can exchange. Muhammad, just to scare his enemy, he come with the verse saying, you have no right, O Muhammad, to take prisoners of war. You have to slaughter them all. You have to slaughter the earth. Alright, you see? You have no right. It's not for you. It's not for any prophet, not only for Muhammad. It's not for any prophet. That's it, any prophet. To take prisoners of war, to take captives of wars, until he made a slaughter in the land. So the purpose is slaughtering. You don't follow a desire to make some money, because that will not make us win the war and install terror in the heart of the disbelievers. Don't worry, we will take their money anyway. We are being victorious. We will take them and take their money. Why are going after some prisoners? Slaughter them all. So he just said to us that prisoners who did not pay ransom, those are the one who enslave. Actually, Muslims don't enslave prisoners of war. They kill them all. I'm talking about men. They enslave only females and children. Females and children. Like, those are the captive who the Quran speak about having sex with them, even if they are married and they have husbands. So in here he made another lie too. He said, actually this is the major lie, that only source in Islam is captives of war, when actually in Islam the prophet is not allowed, not only the Muhammad, not for any prophet, as you see, to take a prisoner of war. It's forbidden. Then he said this is the only source, which is war. Now all of us, we know there is a woman, she is very famous in Islam. Her name is Mary the Copt, and she is famous because there's a verse in the Quran about her story. This is the chapter of At-Tahrim, chapter 66, verse number 1. When the wives of Muhammad, they found Muhammad cut-handed in the bed having sex with Mary the Copt, which means he was cheating in his wives. As you see in here, look, the Muslims, they try to make it nicer. They say, O Prophet, this is Allah speaking to Muhammad, why you forbid, do you forbid what God made lawful for you? In terms of your Coptic maid Maria, is it lawful for a Muslim to sleep with his maid? You see the hypocrisy? They say to us, Islam is a religion of ethic. So it's not a cheating in Islam to sleep with the slave, with the servant, with the housemaid. It's not it's not your right to forbid yourself. You should sleep with her. The fact this is slave, this is not a housemaid only. She is a slave, and she was a gift given to Muhammad. But he just told us that the only source of slaves is war captives. for people who did not pay ransom. Who will pay ransom? As an example, when Muhammad he killed all the tribe of Safiya, who is going to pay her ransom? There's nobody. Anybody left? He killed them all. He took the women and the children. Children who don't have hair around their pubic area, they don't kill them. If you have hair, which means if you are, let us say, 9 years and older, they will chop your head. That is the merciful religion and the merciful prophet of Allah. So, number one source is captive of war, but mostly they are females and females only. What about Bilal? Was Bilal the Ethiopian a captive of war, you liar? What about Bilal? What about Bilal, who we see in this hadith, Bilal after Muhammad he died, he said to Abu Bakr, if you have bought me for yourself, then keep me. If you bought me for Allah's sake, then leave me for Allah's sake, for Allah's work. But I thought only the source of slavery is captive of war. This guy, he was bought. What's wrong with Muslims? Why they lie? Let us see another source of slavery. And here, remember, by the way, Muslims are so proud about Bilal. They say to you, Bilal, he was a black slave who is the first one who called for a prayer. Here we go. The poor guy, Muhammad, he died. This is after the death of Muhammad. And he is asking, kissing the shoes of Abu Bakr, please free me, man. I spent my life as your slave. I fought for you. I risked my life for you. If you bought me for the sake of Allah, let me go. If you bought me to be your slave, okay, keep me. He's shown him that you are a hypocrite person. What is the other source of slavery? Gifts. We can show you tons of hadith where it says that people, they used to exchange gifts as slaves. It's all over their hadith book. And yet the Muslim, they come and say the only source of slavery, it was war, which is really false. There is more important, disgusting actually, source of slavery, which is the following. So now, until now, we have what? We have buying slaves, we have capturing slaves, but they are not men, mostly they are females, even if they are married, from war, and we have gifts, and we have another source. Actually, there's more source, but I don't have enough time to talk about all of them. In this hadith here, which is very disgusting, showing us how stupid the justice of Islam, showing us how unjust Muhammad is, how mad he is. This is a story of a man, you can read with me. A man from Al-Ansar called Bashar said, speaking to Muhammad, I married a virgin woman, which means she told him that she's a virgin, in her veil, which means she has never been touched. She's a virgin. But when I entered upon her, I found her pregnant. I mentioned this to the Prophet. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah pray on him and salute him, said, this is now the judgment of the just of Islam, Muhammad himself. She will get her dower, for you made her vagina lawful. MashaAllah, how nice your language is, how much ethical it is. He will not say because you married her, no, because you made her vagina a parking space for you. You pay her. You see how nice the language? And then he continues saying, and for the child, he will be your slaves. How disgusting this justice is. What is the problem of the little child? What is the guilt of the baby? The baby boy or the baby girl will be a slave because Muhammad is justice. If a woman commits adultery according to Islam, her son should be a slave. This is what Islam is about. And this is a true faith, disgusting. This guy is trying just to make more slaves. A baby is not even born. Why he will be the slave of the guy? Very disgusting. Follow with me, exposing the lies of Islam. God bless.